and welcome to the Atelier Nekozuki podcast. My name is Katie and this is episode 70, and today is Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019. And I totally flubbed the last pod recording. We're not going to restart now. Recording about 17 minutes in, so I'm hoping I can keep this about the same length because I find that a nice comfortable length, and not rush through it and forget a bunch of stuff. So let's get right into it. You can find me on social media as Atelier Nekozuki, and then on Ravelry as Nekozuki Knits. And this week I have quite a bit of knitting, actually. I'm quite surprised and quite happy with the amount I got done. And I've got a little bit of shenaniganing, not a lot, and a little bit of shop news, and a little bit of like what we've been reading and watching sort of thing, and that's it. It's been a fairly quiet week. I guess I'll talk a little bit about the shenaniganing this right now because realistically it's affected what's actually been done this week. But I actually came down with a horrendous cold on the weekend. I was kind of on Thursday, and then I was better on Friday, and then Saturday was just like, no, I haven't been super sick most of the year. And this is the type of thing that it's like, if I don't just basically try and like rest, it will turn into a month-long monstrosity. So I definitely prefer to take a little bit quieter time for a few days rather than like feeling like crap for a month. So that's what I ended up doing. I did do quite a bit of like admin work for the business and a little bit of like product development, but most of it was spent knitting, and I am fine with that because I actually got quite a bit done, like I said. So the first thing is I finished the second sock of the rainbow socks, which this knit up extremely fast. I can't actually believe how fast this knit up. I even showed it to Dallas and I'm like, look at these socks, like I'm practically done. And yeah, so this is Crazy Dog Yarns, and they are vanilla socks. I'm super happy with my matching. I think I'm like row or two off, but whatever, you're not going to be able to tell when it's actually on my feet. They're knit on US 1 2.25 millimeter needles, and all they need is heels. So the tubes are done. Yay! And it's awesome because this was one of the whips out like UFO things that have been on my needles far too long and just need to be finished, and here they are, nearly finished. So not a faux, an NFO. So they've gone from UFO to NFO, non-finished object. Because this is over half of the way, so I'm not going to call it a half-finished object. Yeah, plain vanilla socks, and I knit my socks toe up because I find my bind-offs are a lot looser and stretchier than my cast-ons, which might have changed recently. I haven't actually knit a top-down sock 2 to 3 years, so I probably should try that again, but I just like toe up, 64 stitch, and I just go. Now I think with these ones I might do an afterthought heel with a gusset, which is a Laura Linneman heel, because I haven't done it before and I really don't want to have to Kitchener 32 stitches. Normally what I end up doing with afterthought heels is I cut it, and then I still knit my short row heel, and then I like Kitchener it to the sock again, which works fine. But I really don't feel like doing that this time, and these feel like socks that I can experiment on without too much heartache. I don't know why. And also just want to do a different heel. So I'm thinking, yeah, an afterthought heel with a gusset. So an afterthought heel is I will cut it and pick up all the stitches, and then you knit out, basically is how you do it. So you knit decreasing out just like you would on a toe, and then you Kitchener the last like however many stitches you leave. Typically I cast on 16 stitches at the end, which means that there's 8 and 8 on each side. Excuse me, I'm still sick, so if you hear it, I'm sorry, but I did want to get this recorded today so I didn't fall off schedule, because if I did, who knows how long it would be before I got back. But yeah, so I think what I'm going to do is I'll cut it, and then I'll knit the afterthought heel, because then I just have to Kitchener 8 stitches instead of 32. Because normally what I do, like I just mentioned, is I would cut it and then I would knit my short row heel out and back, and then Kitchener 32 stitches. And the other thing is, I find that afterthought heels do not fit me as well. I do have a little bit of a high arch, or at least that's what I think it is. I think that's where my problems lie. It's in my arches. So I think if I do the afterthought heel with a gusset, the idea is, that there'll be little gussets on the side to add height to the foot. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to take a tube that's like this, and that doesn't work because you don't have space for your heel. So I think what it does is it adds like a gusset in here, and then like you do the same afterthought heel. I don't know. We'll find out. I'll let you know when I actually do it. They're done now, for now, so we'll see. And then the other object that I have lots of work on that I'm super proud about, because I didn't get daunted by the instructions or anything, mostly because I went in and read a post on Ravelry, and the woman was just like, follow the instructions and it will all be fine. So that's what I did, and it's all fine. There were no problems with the instructions. I am missing one stitch, and that's totally my fault, and I can fix it. But dun dun dun, Hitofude, I got through the sleeves. Sorry, Flynn's under the table beside me here, and he's cleaning himself and being extremely loud about chewing his toenails. Anyway, distracting cats are distracting. I am through the sleeves. Now, because I've already recorded about this once, I moved my progress keeper, but I was halfway through the sleeve amount, so I think it was like, which would be about 7, so I think that was here, one of these repeats. But I got the underarms seamed, and I've got the neckband done and bound off at the top, and all of the front increases increased, and now we're just gonna go down our merry way down the back and the fronts here. Excuse me. The one thing I did want to say about this last week that I forgot about, I remember thinking that I needed to say it, and then I totally forgot to say it on the podcast. But for the slip knits that I'm doing in the decreases, I am doing slip one as though to knit, and then slip one as though to purl. Now, I don't remember where I actually learnt this. I feel like it was another podcaster, but I've been using it long enough that I can't remember, so I can't give credit, and I am sorry for that, but I hope it helps someone else, because honestly, it does make the decreases quite, like, significantly more matchy-matchy. And there are some warbles. That is partly because I have been alternating skeins, and so like there's some warbles in the yarn because it's a singles yarn, and also it'll block, so it'll be fine. It's not anything that I'm actually that concerned about, because it'll block out, or at least that's what I'm telling myself. As I like pull it over my knee, it looks fine. Yeah. It also does actually need to grow quite a bit. So now obviously lace will block quite a bit, but it's like, it fits mostly right now, but it is a wee bit tight in the arms. So I probably should have done another repeat, but I was so done. I just wanted to move on. And it's not like I'm not way ahead of my deadline. My deadline is October, and I'm sure I'll get it done. We do have a couple like summer weddings though too, so this would actually be super cute for them. So I guess my actual like hard deadline is October. My desired deadline is actually like July, so, or maybe even June for my birthday and such. So, and I feel like this will actually be a really nice showpiece as well, because it's nice and light. And that's the problem with shows, is like you never know how hot or cold it's going to be. So having a piece like this where it's like, it's wool, but like a third of the fabric is holes because it's lace, and it's short sleeve, and it doesn't button down. It's actually quite nice, and it does go with some of the dresses I normally wear to shows, which is perfect. What else was I going to say? Oh, knit on US 5 3.75 millimeter needles. These are the Chiaogu red, or Chiaogu fixed, before the red lace came out. And it is knit out of Madeline Tosh Merino Light, which is one of their singles in the Coquette colorway. And I was lucky and scored this before our dollar like absolutely plummeted against the US dollar. So I got what I consider a steal for how much I bought. The other really awesome thing is that, okay, this is actually being held in my knot bag. So like it fits in here. Fantastic. I am not yet through 2 skeins of yarn, which I think is quite impressive for having finished the sleeves and the back, basically. So my size calls for close to 1,100 yards, so I have 5 skeins of it, but I don't actually know if I'm going to need it all. So if I don't, I'm sure I can find another use for it. I love this color. Such a nice, like, grown up pink kind of is what I consider it. It's like not baby pink or not Barbie pink. It's a really nice vibrant pink though. Also, it looks so pretty against my cherry blossom tree here in the corner. It's probably what I should take my like finished object photos against. Yeah, so that's all I really had to say about it. And we're on track. I don't think I actually forgot anything. So yeah, so this week I've been sick, but I did do a lot of admin work for Atelier Nekozuki. It is coming up into show season, so this is a good time to kind of like settle a few things in and do a bunch of computer work. There's still a lot to do, there always is, but it's stuff like updating SEO and trying to make myself more, so you can see me more online when you search and stuff like that. So it's a constant battle, but it's fun most of the time. Not always when you're sniffling and sneezing over your computer, but it's a nice sitting job for the work that I didn't really have to think a lot about because I'd already done most of it before I got sick, so I knew what I was doing. And yeah, I am in the process of developing some new products for the shop. I'm not really ready to talk about them yet beyond that, but I do know that I want them ready for May 25th, which is Edmonton Fiber Frolic, my next show. So I will definitely have them ready in time for that and before. I'm hoping that I'll have them actually released online, and then Edmonton will be the first time they kind of make their public debut. So that's the plan so far. Fingers crossed. And it's something that has been requested for quite a few years. So I finally found a design that I'm happy with, and that I think is not something being done by a lot of other people, which is nice as well. I do not like, well, yeah, it's not cool to copy. So it's just kind of like trying to find ways that I can make my products unique. Now with like the project bags, that's the Japanese fabrics. Because realistically, there aren't a lot of ways you can actually make a bag like this different. Although I do have some ideas for that too, and that will be added in the next run of bags that come out for Knit City. And anything I finish before Edmonton, that's also been requested and hopefully is designed. All right, if you caught any of that disturbance, I'm sorry. Someone knocked on the door and I didn't want to answer it, so I had to wait until they were gone. I am actually staying in my yarn room right now, and so I'm like right against the window that's beside the door, so thankfully my blind is closed to give it a little bit better like atmospheric lighting. But yeah, so what was I talking about? Product development. Yeah, there's not much you can actually do in terms of like shape, but there will be some improvements that I'm hoping to bring into place for the next round of bags that I kind of do a push on, because a lot of people have been requesting like dividable bags. I don't think I'm going to go quite that hardcore, but I do have some ideas on how to make bags friendlier to 2 strands of yarn as well. So I'm going to try that out, at least with a few. I don't know if I'll do it with all of them, but it won't be anything intrusive, so that you can just purchase the bag and use it however you want. But that option is there if you do a lot of stranded work, or if you want to have 2 cakes of yarn in the same bag and not have to like worry about them tangling as much and stuff like that. So in my head it works, but we'll see. Let's see what else. I talked about the new product. Sorry, that really distracted me and now I'm like completely off kilter. I'm also trying to find words because I'm not writing show notes right now, like on paper. And so I stumble and then I realize that I might say something that I've stuck my foot in my mouth about and I don't want to do that. But let's see. We've been watching some anime. The winter spring, I don't know what they qualify it as, but this first short season of the year, which is usually about a 12 to 13 episode run, is done. Or wrapping up in the next like couple weeks, because the next season starts April 19th-ish. That's at least when Attack on Titan comes out, their next season. So we finished. My neighbor is my roommate is a cat. Really enjoyed that, super cute. I would recommend it. And then we also finished Recreators, which I did have some problems with, but I can't really talk about them without spoiling the whole series. So I'm not going to. I did have a couple problems, especially in kind of the second half of it and towards the end, but I still really enjoyed it. I still really enjoyed the soundtrack, and if you've watched it or you are going to watch it and don't mind spoilers, feel free to DM me and I will let you know what I thought, and what bothered me about it. So that was still fantastic though. And so we're basically just waiting for the next set of simulcasts to come up on Crunchyroll. And like I said, Attack on Titan's coming out. There's a couple others that I'm actually have heard and seen coming out in April that I'm really excited about. So here's hoping they're actually good. Excuse me. This is the problem with having a head cold, is you have to breathe through your mouth, and then when you're talking it really dries your mouth out. Oh my goodness. Right, the books. I have actually read a book. I finished a book, finally. I'm still reading To Kingdom of Ash by Sarah J. Maas. We know that's going to take me a while just simply because of the subject matter. It's a long book too. I think it's over 30 hours. And that's definitely something that I'm saving more for like production work when I'm actually downstairs sewing. And everything like that. So then there is, I finished a Stephanie Lawrence book. I don't even remember the quartet name. I had this problem last time I recorded too, and I don't know why I didn't look it up when I got interrupted. But it's the Bride series. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the one that I just finished last night was The Brazen Bride by Stephanie Lawrence, and then the next one that I am just starting is The Reckless Bride, also by Stephanie Lawrence. There are other characters from her other series that she pulls in. It doesn't seem like you actually need to read them to like get this current story. It's completely separate, but I do think I'll probably go back and read those ones as well, just because they seem like they're good. They are 100% historical romance fiction, and they are male-female. As far as I can tell, that's what it seems like all the couples have been, at least in this book. I don't know otherwise. Yeah, and it's about like the East India Company and these 4 dudes, and it's just really good. I'm really enjoying it. I have been enjoying it since I started it last fall, because I listened to one of the audiobooks first, and I think I've listened to the second one as an audiobook as well. Maybe, but the last 2 I'm going to read just because the audiobooks are taking a while for the holds to come off of it. And I was actually able to, because of the work on the Hitofude, like, I'm not a fast or good lace knitter, contrary to what that cardigan is showing. Now, the last time that I did knit lace was 5 years ago, and I was attempting to do a pie shawl for my wedding on a deadline, and it was not going well. So I think part of it is that like I haven't actually done lace since then. I did complete a lace shawl in July, or for my wedding, which I actually need to wash and block again. It's been 5 years, you know, it's not going to grow legs and walk off or anything, that's for sure. But I think it's also my skill level's gotten better, or this lace is just really easy to read, because if I did flub something, I could make it up, or or I can make it up. That's basically what I ended up doing. I didn't actually rip back for any of my mistakes. Most of it was like missed yarn overs, and I caught them like on the next row anyway. So I was just able to pick up a little bit. So it's a little bit smaller yarn over, but it's still there, and that's what matters. Not having a yarn over or not having a hole there would be a lot more noticeable than a little bit of a bleh hole. Anyway, so it was intuitive enough that I was actually able to sit down and read last night while I was knitting it, which is exactly what I did, so I could actually finish my book. And then I started The Reckless Bride. Now these are adult theme mature novels, including sex and quite a bit of bloodshed. So if that's not up your alley, or you're too young for it, don't read them. But I am enjoying them. So I did that. What else? Kingdom of Ash. And then Dallas is actually playing Nier Automata right now, which is a Square Enix game on the Xbox One. So I'm watching him play that. And it's been a really nice balance too. So like, yes, I was reading and he was playing last night, but like it's got enough of an open world concept that I'm able to do that without feeling like I'm missing out on a bunch of stuff. But it's also got enough story for me to be engaged with the game, and he's having a lot of fun. So that's really good. Yeah, and like last week was fairly slow, and that's why I got quite a bit of knitting done, because I was sick and he was actually off work. He had an exam on Monday, so he took time off so he could actually like do a very concentrated effort to study for this exam, and he passed, so it was super worth it. And it was our niece's birthday on Friday, and she's 18 now, which is absolutely insane. So happy birthday to her again. Sorry, another distraction. Cats are up to no good now. But yeah, we went out for pizza for her birthday, and then she went out with friends, and we just went home. It was so awesome. What else? Let's see. Yeah, that's realistically it, I guess. Honestly, this is such a disjointed episode. I'm sorry, guys. It's partly definitely the cold and some distractions. For the shop, there's not a lot of bags going in right now. There are a lot of bags on the site though, so if you're looking for something, each listing that is not sold out currently does actually have a link at the bottom that will, it's like, what's the best project bag for me? And you can go in there and it will actually give you suggestions on what you can carry in each size of bag. So it gives you a rundown in case you just kind of like don't know what you're getting into or don't know what you would use the most. So it gives you a good idea there. And there's going to be some more updates on the website as well coming up about like some of the tips and tricks about the bags, stuff that I can't do on every listing as easily, and that like you miss out unless you talk to me actually in person. So once a few things are settled with the super secret project, which I was waiting for Dallas for, because he's got to finish some stuff up and I've got to tidy some stuff up before I show it to you. Once that's done, then I can continue to update the site and give you some more information about the bags. So I'm super excited about that. I've already got it planned out. I already know what I'm doing mostly and how I'm doing it, kind of. This is always how it goes. You gotta wing it. But at least I have the general idea of how I'm going to move forward with some of the ideas. So that's coming up. The next show that I'm at is in Edmonton, May 25th. And the details will be posted in the show notes themselves. So check them out there. I think we're on 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then my next show after that will be TNNA. I'll be guesting with Ancient Art Yarns again. And then my next retail show, and the only other one that's currently planned, is Knit City in Vancouver. And then I am considering a couple in the like Christmas season, but that is going to be dependent on a few of the other products that are under development. Because I'm thinking Market Collective, but I've got to pin down a couple things that I want to take there before I commit. And if they accept me, who knows? So currently that is the schedule. I am going to be at Edmonton Fiber Frolic, and then wholesale TNNA, and then retail Knit City again as well. And the product that is currently under development will actually be going, I'm trying to get it together. Sorry if this is a repeat too, but I'm trying to get it together so that we can, or I can launch it before Edmonton, and then it'll have its first like show launch in Edmonton in May. So I hope that that's how it works. Fingers crossed for me, guys. Hopefully this cold goes away so I don't sound so nasally next week and like hacky. I feel hacky. But yeah, I hope you guys all have a good week, and I will chat with you next week. I'm sure that's enough of saying week in like one paragraph. But yeah, happy crafting. Bye.